Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Meghan and Harry have been warned by royal experts to not poke the hornet's nest. So I found this article by The Express that is literally titled Meghan Markle and Harry warned over poking hornet's nest. This is an ongoing saga. So there are quite a few videos running throughout this article and a lot of images of Fergie are coming up because Fergie actually did do, and this is Sarah Ferguson, did do an Oprah interview back in the day and she paid dearly for it. She was frozen out of the royal firm and she was in many ways punished. And I think it was something that she did really live to regret. Now, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are going down the same road, and it's rather unfortunate because Harry, being a senior member of the royal firm, had a very privileged, comfortable life, and he would have continued to have a very privileged, comfortable, unbothered life if he just kept away from the camera. But it seems as though he's refusing to do that, and he wants a big fat slice of the American pie. He wants a big fat slice of the action, and it's now going to land him in a very compromising position, which royal experts have described as poking the hornet's nest, which it is. So I'm going to get into this article. It should be a short read, and I'll drop my thoughts at the end of it as to what exactly I really think. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are fueling an ongoing saga by speaking about their decision to step down as full-time working royals. According to a royal commentator, Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah is set to open a Pandora's box, which is going to be really difficult to close. According to royal commentator Camilla Tomini, the expert believes the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's decision to keep speaking about Megxit paves the way to endless scrutiny from the media and the public and further reactions from Buckingham Palace. In a video comment for the Daily Telegraph, Ms. Tomini said they could have gone quietly after Megxit. They had said they wanted to live a quieter life in LA, and I think many people would have let them do that. I think the feelings behind the palace gates is, why are you continuing to bang on an issue that was partially resolved last March when you left the royal family and properly tidied up last month when the Queen said that you were ending all of your royal associations? Why are you still talking about this? There are aides saying, we got over it, why haven't they? And that's understandable, it's very true. The reality of it is that Meghan and Harry just keep on going over old ground. Now, obviously, the public is still going to talk. A lot of people are upset about the way their tax pounds were spent during the time that Meghan and Harry were senior royals, specifically the way in which Meghan spent a lot of the money on her personal endeavours, events, reunions, and her baby shower, her clothing budget, and just a general disrespect and lack of regard for our generosity to this lady who a lot of people refer to as a D-list actress. A lot of people are upset. How dare she receive all of this free good treatment, have this £44 million state wedding funded for by the taxpayer, something that most women could only dream of, right, for their big special day, have everything flown in that she wants, all the exclusive designers, hair, makeup artists, you name it, and then turn around and trash our country, trash our generosity, trash our ideologies, our thoughts, our feelings, and our customs and ethics. How dare she? So people are always going to talk about that. That's a lasting impression that she has left. It's a lasting memory, it's a negative one, and it's a very upsetting one, especially for people who are devout royalists. And whether you like it or not, the royal family is a big deal over here in the UK. Even though we play it down And a lot of people make jokes about, what it would be to be royal and the Queen and how they act, etc., etc., and aristocracy in general. Because I would say that, especially in London, it's an extremely cosmopolitan place that if you're a tourist, you're going to definitely see. It's very racially diverse, and therefore people kind of laugh it off, or they will just crack jokes about the royal firm. But it's all a bit of fun, it's tongue-in-cheek, but I think deep down there's a deeper layer. A lot of people do feel nationalistically quite protective about having a royal family, because we are one of the few countries that have retained a living in-house head of state. That's a fact. We are still practicing the customs and traditions, etc., etc. So she's always going to get trashed for that. That's just an undeniable truth. She will always get trashed for that. What she could have done, her and Harry, was drop it, accept it, and try and move forward and turn greener, fresher pastures out in LA, which they kind of half done, but then they haven't, because they keep on going over old ground, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'm going to get into a bit more of the article. So she continues on to say, and I think what's interesting about the Oprah interview is that it does open this Pandora's box, which is going to be really difficult to close. The royal expert added sources have already come forward with bullying allegations ahead of the interview, strongly denied by Meghan's representatives. She claimed, "We've already seen that people are now coming forward with bullying allegations because they don't like the narrative that the Sussexes are presenting. They think it is one-sided and inaccurate." Well, when it comes to Meghan and Harry, everything is one-sided, and for my personal sentiments and feelings on this, yes, they do come across as though they only want to tell their side of the story. They don't acknowledge anyone beyond their own self-indulgent narrative, i.e. Thomas Markle, Samantha Markle, Thomas Markle Jr., her brother, how William possibly feels about the way his brother has stepped down, how Kate feels, how their children will feel in the future after this whole mess has been documented and recorded. It's not going anywhere. Everything that they've said, all of the legal actions that they've launched will affect everyone, even younger royals. They don't have any regard for that, and that is the frustrating part. They also don't have any regard for people when they talk about global warming, or they talk about our carbon footprints, or how people live, how people travel. They don't have a regard for those who are less fortunate than them and what they could possibly be doing in their everyday to-day lives. Our carbon footprint, especially if you're just a normal regular person, is way, way smaller than that of someone like Meghan and Harry. And for them to preach about how many children we should have, how we should fly, when this couple doesn't even fly commercial, is just a bit of a slap in the face, to say the least. And it's all about their narrative. It's all one-sided. It's almost as though the media, the newspapers, everyone just is in the background, and they are literally just sounding off. And when they don't get the feedback that they like, they then run to the victim narrative very swiftly, which is frustrating to watch as well, but because they are far from victims. These are two very wealthy, very well known, empowered people who have free will. They do not have to get up at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and work a job that they hate, that a lot of regular people do have to do. And they seem to not acknowledge that privilege, which is rather embarrassing for them, to say the least. So I'm going to carry on a bit more, and then I'll probably conclude this, because all I can really say is it's true. They are consistently attacking and poking, and once that hornet's nest drops and smashes, and crashes to the ground. We all know what happens when hornets disperse. It's not going to be a pretty sight. So she continues on. If they then go and poke the hornet's nest even further with Oprah, what then is going to come forward? Who might come out and say, well, I disagree with the way they have described that? So I think that by continuing the conversation around Megxit, the couple are inviting even more scrutiny, and the palace is going to have to react to that. So this is an ongoing saga that doesn't seem to have any sign of ending anytime soon. Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah is set to air tomorrow night in the US and on Monday evening in Britain on ITV. During this 2-hour long sit-down interview, the Sussexes will touch upon several topics, including their hopes for the future, motherhood, and their family. I'm going to end it there. The article does carry on a bit more. I'm not really sure if it's going to make interesting reading. I may come back with a part 2. Let me know if you want a part 2. All I can really say is that Meghan and Harry are really approaching dangerous waters. I think we can all see this unfolding as we speak. I'll be back for another video. Bye, guys.